with the hiring of Bryan Applewhite and the return of Vince Quinta. How do you pronounce his last name? Do you think Nebraska can make recruiting inroads into Texas again?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. With Bryan Applewhite on board, he knows that state well. And I remember I commented last week that when he made his first trip back down to Texas after taking the Nebraska job during that open recruiting period, he said every single school he went down to in the state of Texas welcomed him in there with GBRs and just welcome him with open arms. And yeah, they now have some connections back into that state of Texas, and I really do think that that's going to help things out, nabbing some more players out of that talent rich state that we all know that produces all kinds of talent year in and year out.
Well, on that note, here is the production of the current class, the 22 class by state. You tell me if this means anything to you, if this tells us anything. And it's just one recruiting class. So maybe put it together with the last few recruiting classes. 3 from Georgia, 3 from Louisiana, 3 from Nebraska, 2 from Minnesota, 2 from New Jersey, and then 1 each from California, Florida, Illinois, Mississippi, Texas.
It's pretty standard. I mean, Nebraska has to recruit nationwide. We all know that. And look at their, year in and year out, look at their recruiting classes. They're all spread out there. The one thing that jumps out to me about this season is the lack of recruits coming from that 500-mile radius that Nebraska is so proud to dominate, which we talk about, that 500-mile radius around Lincoln that includes Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, in a nutshell. So that's what I expect for them to grow on moving forward here. But obviously, with a lot of the recruiting ties that the staff has, you see the state of Georgia pop out a lot. And we talked about Coach Beckton being that guy that recruits the state of Georgia. Travis Fisher also has all those ties in the South. Now you add Mickey Joseph to the staff that dominates the state of Louisiana. And now, like we just said, Coach Applewhite in the state of Texas. You have a complete reshuffling of the Nebraska recruiting staff or the coaching staff and the areas that they will recruit. And I know I brought this up last week that Mickey Joseph has already made headways in the Missouri area and St. Louis especially, which I think you'll start seeing Nebraska start to get a lot more recruits coming out of the state of Missouri. Not that they haven't. They've always done well in the state of Missouri, but and you also saw Coach Whipple down in Kansas recruiting the top quarterbacks out of the state of Kansas already for the upcoming classes. So I really do like the national recruiting angle that the staff now has, and I haven't even mentioned Coach Raiola, who obviously his family is all from Hawaii. And so you still have that connection there with the Polynesian players having a coach on the staff that's from Hawaii as well. So, Nebraska is truly, obviously it's in the middle of the country. It's landlocked. The population isn't there to produce the local talent that a lot of these other states have. But that forces you to go outside your borders to get most of your talent, and that's what they have to do.